Charlie LeSueur, and I'm host of Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains, and we're going to take you up into those mountains come the fall. But right now, we're going to be telling some of the great stories with people like Larry Hedrick, Hank Sheffer, and some of the legendary people who have actually been up in those mountains. So join us right here for those tales in Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains. All right, this sounds like a simple question, but it really isn't. Is the lost Dutchman mine real?
Where he found it, the only thing I can say about it is when he died, 1891, he had contracted pneumonia from being trapped in that 100-year flood we have every 30 years. And there was 48 pounds of gold ore under his bed. And some of that ore was made into jewelry. And somebody that I know very well, and I've seen it, has a piece of that jewelry, and his name will not be mentioned because he does not want it known. And that was sent off for a non-destructive test. Now, gold itself, you can't tell where it came from, but because of the mineralizations that's associated with the gold, a good assayer can not only tell you what mine it came out of, he can tell you what level of the mine it came out of. It's that good.
I've heard all my life. We know about fingerprints. We all have our own. You go and find gold, gold has its own fingerprint. There are many people who will tell you that if you find a piece of gold, they can pretty much tell you where it came from. I mean, not to the hole in the ground, but they can tell you where that gold came from. Alaskan gold is different than California gold.
And let me give you the example. My dad and I went up to Superior in the 50s, and we went on a tour through the Magna mine, which had some of the most beautiful peacock copper you ever saw, blues and purples and stuff like that. And I took a piece and asked for it, and they gave it to me as big as a person's head and used it for a doorstop for years. And every relative that come along had to have a chunk, and now I've only got about this much left. But it's absolutely beautiful, and in inspecting it, it had a lot of gold flakes in it, you know, and I thought, what? I took it down to an assayer in Mesa. This is in the 50s now. And as soon as I walked in the door, I was no further from you to here. He says, oh, you've been at the Magna Mine in Superior. He knew exactly where that stuff came from. And of course, it was sulfides, it wasn't gold. And I'd never seen gold in the raw before anyway. And so I know that's true, that these guys know their business.
So we now know that there was Jacob Pulse's gold that was made into a matchbox. This is rich gold ore, rich gold, and the matchbox is gorgeous. I mean, make no mistake.
So this non-destructive test was done at a university, and it proved one thing and one thing only. The Dutchman's gold is from a totally unknown source. It didn't come from Goldfield. It didn't come from the mines up around Wickenburg. He didn't high-grade it out of any known mine. It is from a totally unknown source.
But they can't identify where the gold came from. What is wrong with that picture? When we hear everybody talk about, I can identify gold, I can tell you where it came from just by doing whatever chemical tests they do. I don't know how that's done.
And that's all I can tell you. The only other thing is the Forest Service would tell you that gold is never found in volcanic bauxite and things like that. But 6 of the 7 richest mines in the world are found in exactly volcanic bauxite. So,
I'm just an old trumpet player. But I can tell you, if that's what they're saying to me, then my question to you is, why can't you tell me where that came from? They can't even say it came from here. Nobody, whoever they is, will not tell you that that gold came from here.
Who's to say that 10 feet in the bottom of any canyon out there isn't some of the richest gold anywhere on the face of the earth?
Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains. And join us next time for some more great tales. And remember, we're actually going to be going up there, and we're going to be seeing a lot of these places. So stick around. We're just waiting for it to cool down a bit. Right here on Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains.